In a world constantly pushing us towards external success, the question remains, what is true happiness? It's not hidden in the fleeting moments of pleasure or the glittering achievements society esteems so highly. True happiness, the kind that remains untouched by the storms of life, lies within. Imagine a philosopher standing alone in a desolate desert. The sun beats down mercilessly, yet he is at peace. This man has found something we all seek, a serene joy that transcends circumstances. This is the essence of Stoic happiness, a profound tranquility rooted not in the external, but the internal. As we journey through this exploration, we'll delve into the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers, uncovering timeless insights on attaining genuine contentment. We'll dismantle the myths surrounding happiness and rebuild our understanding from the ground up. This is not a guide for the faint-hearted, but for those willing to venture into the depths of their own minds and souls. Chapter 1. The Illusion of External Happiness. Picture a man standing at the peak of his success. He has wealth, fame, and power, yet he feels an emptiness that all his achievements can't fill. This scenario, common in today's world, mirrors the teachings of ancient Stoics who warned against the peril of seeking happiness in external things. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reflected on the fleeting nature of material wealth and societal status. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Marcus Aurelius, despite his immense power, understood that true happiness does not lie in his title or possessions, but within his own mind. The Stoics believed that external circumstances are beyond our control and thus unreliable foundations for happiness. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, famously said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This statement encapsulates the Stoic view that our inner responses, not external events, determine our contentment. Let's delve deeper. Imagine a person who loses all his wealth in a sudden market crash. A non-Stoic might spiral into despair, his sense of self-worth tied to his financial status. A Stoic, however, would perceive this event differently. He would recognize the transient nature of wealth and find solace in his ability to maintain equanimity despite the loss. The Stoic's happiness is resilient because it is rooted in his inner virtues rather than external riches. The Stoics categorize desires into two types, those within our control and those beyond it. Desires for wealth, fame, and physical pleasures fall into the latter category, subject to the whims of fate. In contrast, desires for virtue, wisdom, and inner peace are within our control. By focusing on what we can control, we liberate ourselves from the tyranny of external desires. Consider the story of Seneca, a wealthy Roman philosopher who often practiced voluntary poverty. Despite his immense wealth, Seneca would live for periods with minimal possessions to remind himself that happiness does not depend on external comforts. This exercise wasn't about rejecting wealth, but understanding its true value. Seneca taught that by practicing detachment, we can appreciate what we have without becoming enslaved by it. The modern world bombards us with messages equating happiness with consumption. Advertisements promise joy through the latest gadgets, luxurious vacations, and fashionable clothes. Yet if these things truly brought lasting happiness, why do we continue to chase the next best thing? The Stoics invite us to pause and reflect. Is our pursuit of happiness leading us further away from it? In this chapter, we've scratched the surface of the Stoic perspective on external happiness. We've seen how the reliance on external factors is a precarious path, one that often leads to disappointment and disillusionment. The Stoics challenge us to redirect our focus inward, to cultivate a source of happiness that is unshakable and self-sustaining. As we transition to the next chapter, remember this. True happiness is not about changing our external circumstances, but transforming our internal landscapes. The Stoics believed that by mastering our minds, we can navigate life's tempests with unyielding serenity. Let us now embark on this transformative journey. Chapter 2. The Inner Fortress. Imagine yourself as a fortress, unassailable and strong, standing firm against the assaults of the external world. This is the Stoic vision of a well-guarded mind, an inner citadel of peace and strength that remains unbroken regardless of external turmoil. The concept of the inner fortress was eloquently expressed by Epictetus, who taught that our true power lies in our ability to choose our responses. He said, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." By this, he meant that our essence, our inner being, is distinct from our physical bodies and external circumstances. The true self is invincible, capable of enduring any external hardship with grace and dignity. To build this inner fortress, the Stoics emphasized the cultivation of virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are the pillars upon which the fortress stands, providing strength and stability. Wisdom helps us discern what is truly valuable. Courage allows us to face adversity with resolve. Justice guides us in our interactions with others. And temperance keeps our desires in check. Let's consider wisdom first. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, is not just knowledge, but the understanding of life's deeper truths. It's the ability to see things as they are, free from illusion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By cultivating wise thoughts, we color our souls with serenity and clarity, enabling us to navigate life's complexities with a calm mind. Next, courage. Stoic courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. It is the strength to do what is right, even when it is difficult. The Stoic hero is not one who seeks danger, but one who faces inevitable challenges with unwavering resolve. Epictetus encouraged his students to view life's trials as opportunities to practice virtue, transforming adversity into a proving ground for their inner strength. Justice, the third pillar, involves treating others with fairness and respect. For the Stoics, justice is not merely a social obligation, but a reflection of our interconnectedness. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that we are all part of a larger whole, and by acting justly, we contribute to the harmony of the universe. He wrote, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." By fostering justice, we align ourselves with the natural order, enhancing our own sense of peace. Finally, temperance, the virtue of self-control. In a world of excess, temperance is the ability to maintain balance, to resist the pull of unhealthy desires. Seneca advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." By surrounding ourselves with those who exemplify self-control, we strengthen our own resolve to lead a balanced life. Temperance protects us from the destructive cycles of overindulgence and regret, allowing us to savor life's pleasures without being consumed by them. Building the inner fortress is a lifelong endeavor, requiring daily practice and reflection. The Stoics utilized various exercises to strengthen their virtues. One such practice is negative visualization, where we imagine losing the things we cherish. This exercise isn't about pessimism, but preparation, helping us appreciate what we have and build resilience against loss. Another practice is mindfulness, the continuous awareness of our thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his own behavior, striving to align his actions with his principles. He urged himself, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Through mindfulness, we maintain the integrity of our inner fortress, ensuring that our thoughts and actions are in harmony. As we conclude this chapter, envision your own inner fortress, fortified by the pillars of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This fortress is your sanctuary, a place of refuge and strength amid life's chaos. By cultivating these virtues, you build a foundation of true happiness, one that no external force can shake. The journey within is challenging, but it is the path to genuine, lasting contentment. Chapter 3. Embracing Impermanence. Imagine standing on the shore, watching waves crash against the rocks, each one unique yet fleeting. This is the nature of life, ever-changing, impermanent. The Stoics embrace this reality, finding profound wisdom in the acceptance of impermanence. Heraclitus, a pre-Socratic philosopher often associated with Stoic thought, famously said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." This concept of constant change is central to Stoic philosophy. By understanding and accepting the transient nature of life, we can find peace and contentment in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius often meditated on the fleeting nature of life. He wrote, "Consider that before long you will be nobody and nowhere, nor will anything which you now behold exist, nor one of those who are now alive." This reflection is not meant to evoke despair, but to remind us of the preciousness of each moment. By recognizing the impermanence of life, we can fully appreciate and engage with the present. The Stoics taught that clinging to the past or fearing the future only leads to suffering. Instead, they advocated for living in harmony with the present, understanding that everything we experience is part of the natural order. This acceptance allows us to let go of what we cannot control and focus on what we can, our actions and attitudes in the here and now. Epictetus advised, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." This Stoic attitude of acceptance is not about passive resignation, but active engagement with life's reality. By aligning our desires with the natural flow of events, we reduce internal conflict and find serenity. Imagine a gardener tending to a beautiful flower, knowing it will eventually wither and die. The gardener's appreciation of the flower's beauty is heightened by the knowledge of its impermanence. Similarly, by accepting that all things change, we can appreciate life's beauty and fragility. This perspective helps us cultivate gratitude for the present, recognizing that each moment is unique and valuable. The Stoics also use the concept of memento mori, remembrance of death, to reinforce the acceptance of impermanence. By regularly contemplating our mortality, we are reminded to live fully and authentically. Seneca wrote, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." This practice encourages us to live with urgency and purpose, making the most of our finite time. In embracing impermanence, we also learn to let go of attachments. Attachments to people, possessions, and outcomes can lead to suffering when they inevitably change or disappear. By cultivating detachment, we can love and enjoy these things without becoming dependent on them for our happiness. This doesn't mean we become cold or indifferent, but rather that we maintain a healthy perspective on the transitory nature of life. The Stoic approach to impermanence is a powerful antidote to the anxiety and fear that often accompany change. By accepting that everything is in flux, we develop resilience and adaptability. We become like the strong oak tree, deeply rooted yet flexible enough to withstand life's storms. As we move forward, let us embrace the wisdom of impermanence. By accepting the transient nature of life, we free ourselves from the burdens of clinging and fearing. We learn to live fully in the present, appreciating each moment for what it is, a fleeting yet precious part of our journey. This acceptance is a key to true happiness, a happiness that is not dependent on external conditions, but rooted in the ever-changing flow of life. Chapter 4. The Power of Perspective. Imagine looking through a kaleidoscope, where a simple shift changes the entire pattern. This is the power of perspective, a central theme in Stoic philosophy. Our perception of events shapes our experience of them, And by mastering our perspective, we can transform our lives. Epictetus famously said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This statement underscores the Stoic belief that our suffering is not caused by external events, but by our interpretation of those events. By changing our perspective, we can change our emotional response and find tranquility even in adversity. Consider the story of a shipwreck. Two people find themselves stranded on a deserted island. One laments his fate, feeling hopeless and abandoned. The other sees it as an opportunity for adventure and self-discovery. The situation is the same, but their perspectives create vastly different experiences. The Stoics teach us to cultivate a perspective that sees opportunity and growth in every circumstance. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to view challenges as opportunities to practice virtue. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, helping us see adversity as a path to personal growth and strength. By reinterpreting our challenges, we reclaim our power and maintain inner peace. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of seeing the bigger picture. When faced with difficulties, they encourage taking a step back and considering the situation from a broader perspective. Seneca advised, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By recognizing that our fears and anxieties are often magnified in our minds, we can put our problems into perspective and reduce their impact on our well-being. Imagine looking at the Earth from space, seeing the vastness of the universe and our tiny place within it. This cosmic perspective can help us realize that many of our daily concerns are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the transient nature of human life within the vastness of time and space, finding solace in the realization that our struggles are but a small part of a much larger whole. The Stoics also practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This exercise involves imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for potential difficulties. By considering how we would cope with adversity, we strengthen our resilience and diminish the fear of the unknown. This practice helps us maintain a balanced perspective, recognizing that we can handle whatever comes our way. Another powerful Stoic technique is amor fati, love of fate. This concept, closely associated with Nietzsche, who was influenced by Stoicism, encourages embracing everything that happens as necessary and beneficial. By loving our fate, we align ourselves with the natural order and find peace and acceptance. This perspective transforms even the most challenging experiences into opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Incorporating the Stoic power of perspective into our lives involves ongoing practice and reflection. Mindfulness, journaling, and philosophical contemplation are valuable tools for developing and maintaining a Stoic mindset. By regularly examining our thoughts and attitudes, we can identify unhelpful perspectives and consciously choose more empowering ones. As we conclude this chapter, imagine holding a kaleidoscope, ready to shift your perspective and reveal new patterns. The power to change how we see the world lies within us. By mastering our perspective, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and find true happiness, regardless of external circumstances. The Stoics invite us to see the world through a lens of wisdom, resilience, and acceptance, transforming every experience into a stepping stone toward a fulfilled life. Chapter 5. The Virtue of Self-Mastery. Imagine a sculptor meticulously chiseling away at a block of marble, revealing the masterpiece within. This is the Stoic approach to self-mastery, carefully shaping our character through disciplined practice and reflection. Self-mastery is the foundation of Stoic happiness. It involves cultivating control over our thoughts, emotions, and actions, aligning them with our highest values. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from within, from the ability to govern ourselves rather than being enslaved by external circumstances or internal passions. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This statement highlights the Stoic belief that external freedom is meaningless without inner freedom. True liberty is achieved through self-discipline and the cultivation of virtue. By mastering ourselves, we gain the power to navigate life with serenity and purpose. The journey to self-mastery begins with self-awareness. The Stoics emphasize the importance of knowing ourselves, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, and recognizing our habitual thoughts and behaviors. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his own character, writing, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." Through self-examination, we gain insight into our inner workings and identify areas for growth. Once we are aware of our inner landscape, the next step is to cultivate self-control. This involves managing our desires and emotions, ensuring they align with our reason and values. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By moderating our desires and practicing contentment, we free ourselves from the tyranny of insatiable wants. The Stoics used various techniques to develop self-control. One such practice is the dichotomy of control, distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." By focusing our energy on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we cultivate a sense of agency and reduce unnecessary stress. Another technique is the practice of delayed gratification. The Stoics recognize that true satisfaction often comes from long-term goals rather than immediate pleasures. Marcus Aurelius urged himself to act with purpose, writing, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." By prioritizing our long-term well-being over short-term indulgences, we build the foundation for lasting happiness. Self-mastery also involves the cultivation of resilience. The Stoics viewed challenges as opportunities to strengthen our character. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." By facing adversity with courage and perseverance, we develop the mental fortitude to remain steadfast in the face of life's trials. Resilience is closely tied to the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. This involves deliberately exposing ourselves to discomfort and hardship to build resilience and appreciate our comforts. Seneca, despite his wealth, practiced sleeping on the ground and eating simple meals to prepare himself for potential hardships. This practice helps us become less dependent on external comforts and more adaptable to change. The cultivation of virtues is another key aspect of self-mastery. The Stoics believe that virtues are the building blocks of a good life. By practicing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we align ourselves with our highest values and build a strong moral character. These virtues serve as our guiding principles, helping us navigate life's complexities with integrity and purpose. Imagine a garden where each plant represents a different aspect of our character. Self-mastery involves tending to this garden, nurturing the virtues while weeding out vices. This requires ongoing effort and dedication, but the rewards are profound. By cultivating a virtuous character, we create a foundation for true happiness, one that is independent of external circumstances. As we conclude this chapter, envision yourself as both the sculptor and the masterpiece, continuously refining your character through the practice of self-mastery. The journey is not easy, but it is the path to true freedom and fulfillment. By embracing the Stoic principles of self-awareness, self-control, resilience, and virtue, we unlock the potential for genuine happiness and inner peace. Chapter 6. The Role of Community and Relationships. Imagine a vast network of interconnected roots beneath a forest, each tree supporting and nurturing the others. This is the Stoic vision of community and relationships, an essential aspect of a fulfilled life. While Stoicism emphasizes self-mastery and inner resilience, it also recognizes the importance of our connections with others. The Stoics believe that we are inherently social beings, and our happiness is intertwined with the well-being of our community. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We are born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth." This metaphor highlights our interconnectedness and the need for harmonious relationships. At the heart of Stoic teachings on relationships is the concept of oikiosis, which means affinity, or the sense of belonging. The Stoics believe that our natural inclination is to care for others and seek the common good. This sense of affinity begins with self-love and extends to family, friends, and ultimately to all of humanity. By nurturing our connections, we fulfill our social nature and contribute to a greater harmony. Seneca, in his letters, often emphasized the importance of friendship. He wrote, "Friendship always benefits, love sometimes injures." True friendship, according to Seneca, is based on mutual respect and the pursuit of virtue. It is a relationship where both parties support each other's growth and well-being. Such friendships are a source of strength and joy, providing us with companionship and understanding. The Stoics also valued the role of family in personal development. They believed that our relationships with family members are opportunities to practice virtue, such as patience, compassion, and forgiveness. Epictetus advised, "Remember that you are an actor in a drama of such a kind as the author pleases to make it." By viewing our familial roles as part of a greater play, we can approach them with wisdom and grace, fulfilling our duties with integrity. Community involvement is another vital aspect of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his responsibilities as an emperor, striving to govern with justice and wisdom. He saw his role as a service to the greater good, emphasizing that personal happiness is found in contributing to the well-being of others. The Stoics believe that by engaging in our communities, we enhance our own lives and create a ripple effect of positive change. Consider the concept of sympathia, the Stoic belief in the interconnectedness of all things. This idea suggests that our actions have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only ourselves, but also those around us. By acting with virtue and kindness, we contribute to the collective well-being, fostering a sense of unity and harmony. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness." This perspective encourages us to see every interaction as an opportunity to practice virtue and strengthen our connections. The Stoics also recognize the importance of compassionate detachment in relationships. This involves caring deeply for others while maintaining emotional equanimity. By accepting that we cannot control others' actions or emotions, we can offer support without becoming overwhelmed by their struggles. Epictetus taught, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." By focusing on our inner virtues, we can provide genuine support to others while preserving our own peace of mind. As we engage with our community and relationships, it is crucial to practice empathy and understanding. The Stoics encouraged us to put ourselves in others' shoes, recognizing that everyone is facing their own challenges. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This practice fosters compassion and reduces unnecessary conflict, helping us build stronger, more harmonious relationships. In our modern world, the Stoic principles of community and relationships are more relevant than ever. By nurturing our connections, practicing empathy, and contributing to the common good, we create a supportive environment where true happiness can flourish. As we conclude this chapter, imagine the vast network of roots beneath the forest, each one playing a vital role in the health and strength of the whole. By embracing our interconnectedness, we cultivate a sense of belonging and purpose, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Chapter 7. The Path to Eudaimonia. Imagine climbing a mountain, each step bringing you closer to the summit, where the air is clear and the view is breathtaking. This ascent symbolizes the Stoic journey toward eudaimonia, true happiness or flourishing. Eudaimonia, a term often used by ancient Greek philosophers, refers to a state of living in accordance with one's true nature and achieving a sense of fulfillment and purpose. For the Stoics, eudaimonia is the ultimate goal, achieved through the cultivation of virtue and the alignment of our lives with reason and nature. The foundation of eudaimonia lies in living virtuously. The Stoics believed that virtue is the highest good and the key to true happiness. By practicing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we align ourselves with our highest values and live in harmony with the natural order. Epictetus taught, "Virtue is the only good, vice is the only evil, all else is indifferent." This perspective shifts our focus from external achievements to the cultivation of our inner character. Wisdom, the first virtue, involves the pursuit of knowledge and the application of rational thinking. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of seeing things clearly and making decisions based on reason rather than impulse. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By cultivating wisdom, we navigate life's challenges with clarity and composure. Courage, the second virtue, is the strength to face adversity with resilience and determination. The Stoics saw life as a series of tests, each offering an opportunity to practice and strengthen our character. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." By embracing challenges and acting with bravery, we build the inner fortitude necessary for eudaimonia. Justice, the third virtue, involves treating others with fairness and respect. The Stoics believe that we are all part of a larger whole, and by acting justly, we contribute to the harmony of the community. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that our actions should benefit the greater good, writing, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee." By practicing justice, we create a supportive environment where true happiness can flourish. Temperance, the fourth virtue, is the practice of self-control and moderation. In a world of excess, temperance helps us maintain balance and avoid the pitfalls of overindulgence. Epictetus advised, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By exercising self-discipline and focusing on what truly matters, we create a foundation for lasting happiness. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of aligning our lives with nature. They believe that by understanding and following the natural order, we live more harmoniously and find greater fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of all things, writing, "Everything is interwoven and the web is holy." This perspective encourages us to see ourselves as part of a larger whole and to live in harmony with the world around us. In addition to practicing virtue and aligning with nature, the Stoics advocated for regular self-reflection. By examining our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we identify areas for growth and ensure that we are living in accordance with our values. Seneca advised, "Let us examine our thoughts and actions for the purpose of learning and improving." This practice of self-reflection helps us stay on the path to eudaimonia, making course corrections as needed. The journey to eudaimonia is a lifelong endeavor, requiring dedication, perseverance, and humility. It is not about achieving a final destination, but about continuous growth and self-improvement. The Stoics believed that by striving to live virtuously, we can experience true happiness and fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. As we conclude this chapter, envision yourself on the path to the summit, each step bringing you closer to the clear air and breathtaking view of Eudaimonia. The journey may be challenging, but it is the path to true happiness and fulfillment. By practicing virtue, aligning with nature, and engaging in regular self-reflection, we cultivate a life of purpose and meaning, achieving the Stoic ideal of Eudaimonia. Conclusion: the Stoic way to true happiness. Imagine a serene lake, its surface calm and undisturbed, reflecting the beauty of the sky above. This image captures the essence of Stoic happiness, a deep, unshakable tranquility rooted in virtue and wisdom. Throughout this journey, we've explored the Stoic path to true happiness. We've examined the illusion of external happiness, the strength of the inner fortress, the wisdom of embracing impermanence, the power of perspective, the virtue of self-mastery, the importance of community and relationships, and the pursuit of eudaimonia. Each chapter has provided insights and practices to cultivate a life of genuine contentment and fulfillment. The Stoics teach us that true happiness is not found in external circumstances, but within ourselves. It is achieved through the cultivation of virtue, the alignment of our lives with reason and nature, and the mastery of our thoughts and emotions. By embracing the Stoic principles, we create a foundation of inner peace that remains resilient in the face of life's challenges. As we conclude, let us remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This statement encapsulates the Stoic belief that our inner world shapes our experience of the outer world. By cultivating virtuous thoughts and actions, we create a life of true happiness regardless of external conditions. The journey to true happiness is ongoing, requiring continuous effort and reflection. It is a path of growth, resilience, and wisdom. By embracing the Stoic way, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation, unlocking the potential for a life of profound fulfillment and peace. Imagine yourself standing by the serene lake, its calm surface reflecting your inner tranquility. This is the Stoic vision of true happiness, a state of being that is not dependent on external circumstances, but rooted in the unshakable foundation of virtue and wisdom. By walking the Stoic path, we cultivate a life of true happiness, a life that reflects the beauty and serenity of the calm lake. As you move forward, carry these Stoic principles with you, applying them to your daily life. Practice virtue, embrace impermanence, master your perspective, nurture your relationships, and strive for eudaimonia. In doing so, you will unlock the door to true happiness and create a life of lasting fulfillment and peace.